Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new on this channel, my name is Silibaziso Mupereki and I cover content that has to do with nursing school, university life and international student experiences. If that would be something that you'd be interested in, definitely hit the subscribe button and join the family. So in this video, I'm going to be speaking about the disadvantages of being a nursing student or just being in nursing in general. Last week I covered on the advantages of being a nursing student, so if you haven't watched that video, you can definitely click over here and you can go watch that video and come back, or you can finish watching this video and then go to that one at the end. Please be aware that this video is my own opinions and what I've experienced at my university. Every university or college and country that you're studying in is different, so the disadvantages might be different. So if you disagree with something that I've said, definitely comment down below. I'd be interested to see what your view is, and if you have the same disadvantages, definitely comment down below also, so that we can, sympathize with one another, because this is a long ride. 4 years of this is a lot, but we're definitely gonna be there for one another. Let's get into this video. So I'm currently at work and I'm in a storeroom kind of thing, so it's going to be a bit echoey, but just don't mind it. I'll try to edit out. If not, you just have to bear with me. So the first disadvantage of being a nursing student is you are very much undermined, and the reason for this is people think that you couldn't make it into medicine. So they think that you are the light version of a doctor. In a sense, you are Dr. Light in a way, and you're gonna have a lot of these questions of, oh, what are you doing? Oh, I'm doing nursing, and you're passionate about it. But then people are like, oh, why didn't you go all the way to medicine? As if medicine is just an upgrade. Medicine and nursing are very much different in how they function, so you are going to experience that, and people might not take you seriously enough, or they think that you're not smart enough to be in medicine, and as a result, nursing was a backup plan in a way. So just be aware that it's going to be the treatment that you're going to get, and sometimes in the hospital you might even have patients that do not want to be treated by you as a student, and not because they think you should be a doctor, but because they don't trust you, because they think you don't have enough experience and you don't know how to do things. And yeah, it does suck, but some people don't want to be poked in by people that don't have experience. But I mean, we are being trained to take over patients, so they should at least give us that chance. So if you happen to be a patient or just a general civilian watching this video, please do allow us to practice things on you. Sometimes we might come to you while you're in hospital, or even when you come to the clinic and we ask you to be part of our procedure. Please be more than happy and willing to allow us to do things on you. Majority of the time when we're doing these things, we are under supervision, so we never do something unless we are competent. So please just bear with us as we are busy in our training phase. So in most universities, especially if you study at a university, at the colleges, I heard that they do get paid. So if you're in a university, you do not get a stipend or an allowance, and if you're not on bursary, that means you're not getting any income, etc, etc. And as most people know, nursing is very expensive, from the uniform itself, the textbooks, the equipment that you're going to need, and in general your tuition. So the bills are going to pile up on you very quickly, especially if you're living out of race. You're going to have traveling expenses, lunch, etc. However your living arrangements are, you're going to have different costs, but please be aware that you're going to have a lot of fees and a lot of things that you're going to be having to be paying in nursing school. I did mention a list of these in my video on the nursing essentials that you need, so just check out that video so you get an idea of what things are going to be expected from you. But please do not just come into nursing and expect everything to be given to you for free. You're going to be taking out a lot of your money than you would not expect, and unfortunately we do not get paid by the government while we're working in our clinical placement, so technically we are free labor. So by now I'm sure you've seen the memes that are circulating around that nursing students do not have a life, and unfortunately that is the reality. Because let's take my week for example. Monday and Tuesday I'm working, either it's a clinic or it's a hospital. If it's a hospital, it's a 7 to 7 7 shift. If it's a clinic, it's a 7:30 to 4:30 shift. And then you still have to travel home. And then from Wednesday to Friday, I've got classes, I've got skills lab, etc., etc. So majority of the time, my day ends by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock sometimes, because obviously you've got projects, you've got portfolios, you've got lectures, you've got in-person lectures, or you've got notes that are being given to you via your school system, etc., etc. So there's just a lot that is happening, and especially if you're working in a hospital setting, you're going to be working weekends, you're going to be working holidays, like even like Christmas time and public holidays. So majority of your time is going to be dedicated to nursing. And yes, it's a career that you chose and whatnot, but it can get really frustrating because you barely have time to do things that you want to do for yourself, and as a result you might actually end up missing very important functions in your family or with your friends, or your friends might want to invite you to things over the weekend, but because you're so busy you can't. So that is definitely a big disadvantage of being in nursing school. It is very, very time consuming, but if you can manage your time, you can definitely have a social life, but it's not going to be the same as someone who is in a different course. They don't have clinical placements, and they do not have practicals. Those courses, they'll have a lot more time than nursing students. So this one relates to some, keyword is some nurses, they abuse students. And how this works is you come into the ward or you come into the facility and they know, okay, we've got 3, sometimes even up to 8 students working on that shift. So what they see is free labor. So they'll usually assign students for all the nasty work, and majority of the time they'll be sitting around doing nothing because, you know, the students are there, they are there to learn and that sort of thing, and they take advantage of that. Unfortunately, that is reality in some wards. It does get better as you upgrade in years, I guess you can say, because in first day you don't know anything, you're just doing basic nursing, so they would definitely take advantage of you during that stage of your life. And then as you come to second year, you've got a lot more responsibility. So in second year, you start doing medication, you start doing sugars, so they will give you more responsibility and you're doing less gruesome stuff. So you're doing less of your bathing, less of your changing the patients, but it is still there. Please do not think that just because you're in second year, when you're third, when you're fourth year, you will not be doing it. It will still be there, but it's a lot less. Another thing is that nursing school is emotionally draining because, for one, you are dealing with patients, either they're really nice or they're really horrible to you. You've got staff members that might be really horrible to you. You might be losing patients, they're dying, or their condition is just getting really worse, or sometimes you might meet cases of abuse, rape, and that sort of thing. So dealing with all that stuff at work is definitely taxing and demanding on you physically and emotionally. And in addition to that, you're trying to balance school and work life and social life and home life, etc., etc. And since nursing school takes out a lot of your time, your personal life sort of starts to suffer because you're spending less time in it and you're constantly stressed. Like university will stress, it will stress you out, especially at the end of terms. So usually if in your first semester, the month of April and May are horrible, and then in your second semester it's usually the months of August, September, October, the period just before exams, because they're trying to get all the assessments done, so everything gets piled on you. And now with online learning, it's even worse because they're expecting you to do a large amount of work in a small space of time, and with COVID it delays things and that sort of thing. So that is definitely a big disadvantage of being in nursing school, because you've got such high demands in your clinical placement and at school, and it can get very overwhelming. So a tip I can give you here is please talk to someone about it. Don't just bottle it in. You can see your counseling services at your universities. Most universities offer it for free, but please vent out your emotions and have healthy ways to take out your emotions, whether that's exercise, whether that's doing a hobby once a week, every second week, etc., etc. Just do whatever you need to do to get those emotions out, because if you let it fester inside you, it's actually going to start manifesting into a physical problem. That's why most people end up with back pain, headaches, etc., etc. So please do whatever you need to do to get those emotions out. And the last disadvantage of being in nursing school is that you've got a lot of dangers that are around you, whether that's bodily fluids, so whether you're touching pee, feces, blood, mucus, etc., etc. That is a danger to you because you can catch anything from the patient. Also, you're interacting with patients with TB or a really bad bacterial infection in your intestine called C. diff. That is a big one, especially in a medical ward. You've got sharps and needles, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and you're at a high risk of being infected, etc. So unfortunately, we are more susceptible to getting those infections because we are around those type of patients on a daily basis. So please do your part to protect yourself. If you're touching a bodily fluid, please make sure you've got gloves on. If you've got someone who's got a skin condition or they've got diarrhea, please have gloves and have an apron on. Please wear the proper mask, etc., etc. So please follow your hospital protocols to protect yourself. And especially when you start your university life, in your first year, they'll ask you to get all your vaccines, which is your hepatitis and now the COVID vaccine. Take multivitamins if you need to, but please do whatever you need to do to protect yourself because we are highly susceptible to getting those infections. Anyway guys, this is the end of this video. I really hope it does not discourage you to do nursing. I definitely think the advantages outweigh the disadvantages, but I do want you to be aware that is the situation that you're walking into, and it's better to be prepared walking into it than going in blindly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you would like to see more of these videos, definitely give it a thumbs up and share it with your friend and tell them to come join the family. Until next week Friday, where I'm going to be posting a video on what to do on your first day of placement, because I know the new first years in the new nursing program, they're starting placement very soon. So I'm going to be making a video dedicated to you guys, so definitely hit the notification button so you do not miss out that video. Until next week Friday, 12 p.m. South African time. Goodbye.